Ares, the ancient Greek god of war, is renowned for his violent and uncompromising nature. He is not only a symbol of war but also embodies the chaos and destruction that war brings. Ares is born to Zeus and Hera, but he is not particularly favored by his parents. In fact, Hesiod, a Greek poet, wrote that Zeus once said Ares was his least favorite son. Nevertheless, Ares still holds a significant position in mythology due to his fervor and strength. Often depicted wielding a shield and spear, with a fierce and challenging gaze, Ares is ready to charge into battle. He rides a chariot drawn by two unruly horses, Phobos, fear, and Deimos, terror, demonstrating not only his valor but also the fear and panic he spreads on the battlefield. In Greek mythology, Ares frequently involves himself in conflicts and discord. One of the most famous stories is his affair with Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. This clandestine relationship gave birth to other gods and goddesses such as Phobos, Deimos, and Harmonia. Their love story adds a complex dimension to Ares's character, transforming him from a god solely associated with war into one filled with passion and tenderness. Ares is also known for his conflicts with other gods, especially Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom. While Ares represents raw courage and violence, Athena embodies strategy and tactical intelligence. This contrasting relationship reflects the dual nature of war, destructive force and strategic wisdom. Ultimately, Ares is not just a symbol of war but also a testament to the complexity of human nature, a blend of violence, love, fear, and courage. Each story about Ares highlights that war is not only a battle between armies but also an internal struggle within each individual. Despite all the complexity and truth about his nature, Ares remains one of the most fascinating figures in Greek mythology, constantly prompting us to reflect on the values and consequences of war. Mars, the Roman god of war, embodies not only strength and violence but also courage and protection. Mars is one of the most revered gods in Roman mythology, playing a vital role in the lives and culture of ancient Romans. The son of Jupiter and Juno, Mars is not only the god of war but also the protector of farmers and agriculture, reflecting the close connection between defending the nation and nurturing its people. This is evident in the Roman view of war not just as destruction but also as a process of regeneration, leading to abundant harvests after conflicts end. Mars is often depicted as a muscular man clad in armor, wielding a sword or spear, frequently present on the battlefield with a fierce and imposing demeanor. He rides a chariot pulled by two mighty horses. Additionally, Mars is accompanied by two artistically inclined birds, omens of war, always circling nearby. One of the most famous stories about Mars is his relationship with Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. From this union, they bore Cupid, the god of love, and several other gods. The love story between Mars and Venus reveals another aspect of Mars, not only a bringer of war but also a passionate and emotional being. In Roman times, Mars was also considered the father of Romulus and Remus, the legendary founders of the city of Rome. This further solidifies Mars' role not just as a god of war but also as a central figure in the history and development of Rome. Mars, with his multifaceted and varied roles, from valiant warrior to protector and nurturer, is evidence of the complexity and diversity of Roman mythology. Through Mars, we can see the respect that Romans held for both war and peace, destruction and creativity, all essential for the prosperity and defense of their nation. Hachiman, the Japanese god of war, is often recognized as the guardian deity of samurai and also the god of war, martial arts, and protection. Hachiman is a versatile figure in Japanese mythology, associated not only with warfare but also with agriculture, playing a significant role in the lives of the Japanese people since ancient times. Hachiman is typically depicted as a solemn samurai, clad in armor and wielding a bow or sword, symbols of bravery and protection. He is believed to possess the ability to safeguard and guide warriors in battle, while ensuring bountiful harvests for the people. This reflects the blending of military might and fertility, creating a unique and diverse image of Hachiman in Japanese culture. Hachiman is said to be the deified spirit of Emperor Ajin, who was revered and elevated to one of the most honored gods in Japan after his death. Hachiman shrines, known as Hakumangu, are erected throughout Japan to worship him, where people come to pray for victory in battles and prosperity in life. In mythological tales, Hachiman is often portrayed as loyal and just, always ready to stand by the weak and uphold justice. He is not only a god of war but also a symbol of loyalty, courage, and strong protection. Furthermore, Hachiman is associated with boats and the sea, symbolized by his often being depicted sitting on a boat. This signifies leadership and guidance in journeys, whether on the battlefield or through the tumultuous waves of the sea. Hachiman, with the connection between military and agriculture, war and peace, is a unique deity in Japanese mythology, reflecting the diversity and complexity of Japanese thought and culture. He is not just an image of a warrior but also a protector and nurturer, demonstrating a strong bond between humans, nature, and each other. Tyr, the Norse god of war, known as an icon of courage and justice. Tyr is not only a god of war but also a deity of law and order, clearly demonstrated through the famous tale of his self-sacrifice to maintain the balance of the cosmos. In Norse mythology, Tyr is often depicted as a mighty and courageous warrior, typically appearing in battle attire with one hand, following the event of losing his hand in a heroic saga. This event is linked to Fenrir, the giant wolf and one of the most dangerous monsters in Norse mythology. The gods decided to bind Fenrir to prevent the destruction it could cause, but the wolf agreed to be bound only if one of the gods placed their hand in its mouth as a pledge. Tyr, knowing this would result in the loss of his hand, willingly did so to protect the world. Tyr's sacrifice not only demonstrates bravery but also illustrates his acceptance of responsibility and willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. This makes Tyr one of the most admired gods in Norse mythology, an emblem of courage and justice. Tyr is also often associated with fair combat and law. In ancient Norse society, law and order played an extremely important role, and Tyr is the patron god of these values. He is not just a god of war but also a deity intervening in disputes and ensuring that justice is fairly enforced. In artworks and depictions, Tyr is often portrayed with a missing hand, sometimes holding a sword or a scale of justice, emphasizing his role as a guardian of justice and a fighter for truth and fairness. Tyr is not just a god of war but also an ideal model of courage and sacrifice for the common good, one of the most complex and profound figures in Norse mythology, offering us lessons about the value of courage and responsibility. Indra, the god of thunder and war in Indian mythology, is renowned as an emblem of courage and justice. Indra is one of the most significant deities in the Rigveda, the oldest sacred texts of Hinduism, and is the king of the Devas, the gods of Indian mythology. Indra is famous for his extraordinary strength and mastery over weather, especially rain and storms. He is often depicted riding Airavata, a giant white elephant, and wielding Vajra, a thunderbolt weapon capable of destroying anything in its path. Vajra symbolizes not only physical power but also spiritual strength, showcasing Indra's supreme authority. In mythological tales, Indra is celebrated for his role as the protector of humanity and the gods from evil forces and monsters. One of the most famous stories about Indra is his battle with Vritra, a giant dragon blocking the flow of water and causing droughts worldwide. Indra used his Vajra to defeat Vritra, releasing the water and bringing life to the world. This story not only illustrates the strength and courage of Indra but also symbolizes the triumph of good over evil, a common theme in Indian mythology. Indra is also known for his complex and diverse character. Despite being the god of war and storms, Indra also exhibits humane qualities such as generosity and self-reflection. Stories about Indra often contain lessons about humility and the importance of balance in power. Furthermore, Indra is described as a generous and festive character, frequently hosting celebrations at his palace in heaven. These festivities are not only occasions to rejoice victories but also opportunities for the gods to meet, socialize, and strengthen their relationships. Indra, as the god of war, storms, and the king of the gods, is one of the most complex and beloved mythological figures in Indian culture. He is not just a symbol of strength and protection but also of life and prosperity. Indra, with his enthusiasm and power, is an indispensable character in the diverse